this one is a take on Panero's cheddar and broccoli soup. I researched this one pretty heavily, watched probably 15, 20 different ways to make it. And as always, used the best of everything, as I think is the best of everything. And it came out pretty damn good. I had 2 bowls of it. It's really rich. It is very rich. It's got half and half and butter and cheese and flour and all kinds of good stuff in it. So it's good but hearty. Serve with a sandwich and a baguette and make your night. It's a great warm soup on a cold night. It's a great warm soup on a hot day. It doesn't matter. It's just awesome stuff. So give this one a pop and see what you think. Later. Okay, our ingredients. Stick of butter. 1 clove of garlic, which we're going to mince. Half a cup of flour, which is right here. 1 medium onion, chopped. Chopped to your liking. Mine's kind of fine. 4 ounces, Jesus God. 4 cups of chicken broth. 1 quart of half and half. I have a pint of half and half and a pint, and it says heavy cream, but it's half heavy cream and half milk, whole milk, making half and half. It's a way if you don't have, if you've got some extra heavy whipping cream laying around and you need half and half, that's how you can make it. Half a teaspoon, where am I? Quarter teaspoon of, what is that? Pepper, thank you. Come back again soon. 1½ teaspoons of salt and 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne. Just enough to give it just a little extra flavor. 24 ounces of grated mild to medium orange cheddar. Orange to give it a flavor. And hand grate that, by the way, along with your carrot. Don't go out and buy and be cheap, or don't go out and be lazy and buy the grated stuff already. This is better. 3 large carrots, shredded. A pound of broccoli. I threw this in the refrigerator for a day to thaw out. It's got to have bigger pieces than what the store has. Let's see. What are we going to do? And I should have started this already, so we're going to just take a break for a minute. Butter's getting there, so we're going to throw our onions in. We're going to add our salt, 1.5 teaspoons. Yes, I still do have my recipe right next to me. It's on my phone this time, not on my laptop. 1.5 teaspoons. That's regular salt. There was a point I saw last night watching a cooking show, and I was part of my research, of course, for another dish I'm thinking about doing, Mongolian beef, particularly the P.F. Chang's variety. That's a 1/2 teaspoon of ground pepper and 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne, just to give it a little bang. And there was a point that he said, and I should have thought about that, and I hadn't, is that a teaspoon of salt isn't the same with every salt. A teaspoon of kosher salt is not the same as a teaspoon of table salt. This weighs less than a teaspoon of table salt. So you may need 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt to make up, and the same with sea salt, Himalayan salt, and the rest. So just something to keep in mind for what it's worth. I may switch to using grams instead of teaspoons and things for things like that. Particularly, I know some people already do that. I don't yet. I'm not sure I'm going to, but I'm thinking about it just because of that accuracy thing. And accuracy is not that big a deal, but with salt and pepper, it can be. Okay, we'll mix that together. Now we're going to add our carrots. And we're going to saute this for about 5 to 7 minutes, whatever, so the onions get soft and translucent. We're not trying to brown them. So we'll bring you back in a few minutes. Alright, coming down to the last of our 5 minutes. And see how these are nice and translucent and the carrots are getting soft and all that kind of good stuff. And there we go. We're now going to add our half cup of flour. Mix that in nicely with the butter and the veggies. Get it all mixed up as you want that all integrated in there. Now, I've told you this time and time again. I'm going to tell you again because I was researching this recipe, and one of the morons, besides saying like every other word and you know every third word, put her flour in and just went right ahead with the recipe. You must cook the flour out for 3 minutes or so you get the flour taste out of it, and otherwise it's going to taste like paste. It's going to taste just horrible. So cook your flour out. See you in 3 minutes. And make sure you stir it around too, by the way. Make sure you stir it around so you get all the flour exposed to heat so it does cook. Okay, our 3 minutes are up for the flour. We are going to add our chicken broth, stirring while we add it. Come on, get up there. So you can get the flour incorporated into the chicken broth also. Could use a whisk too if you want to. I don't think it's necessary, but you could. Break up the clumps as you see them. You want all that floury goodness and mixing with that chicken broth goodness. We're going to add our garlic to that. Get a little extra garlicky flavor. You could have added it to the saute at the end if you wanted to. The last 15-30 seconds. You don't want garlic to be in there for too long, or it'll burn and it'll be yucky. So we're going to bring this to a simmer. And I'll bring you back when that's done. Alright, as you can see, we're starting to come up to a little simmer now. So we're going to add our broccoli. You can take and make these chunks smaller if you wish. It's your choice. You could buy the smaller chopped broccoli, which I don't think is as good because it doesn't include as many heads, mostly stem. You can also cut it up in your bowl. We're going to cook this for 4 minutes. We're almost done. Alright. Soup has thickened up considerably. We're just about the end of our 4 minutes for the broccoli. It's going to get rich now because we're going to add our half and half. And we're going to turn the heat off. You don't ever add, don't ever add your cheese to a boiling or simmering pot, or to any pot at all with the heat on. Now, another one of the homemade miracle workers that I was watching when I was researching this, just dump the whole thing in it. It's not the way you want to do it because you can get clumps that way. Slowly add it handful by handful. Incorporate what you put in. All that cheesy goodness in there. I don't see any clumps, lumps. All I see is a little lump, not a big deal. All I see is carrot. That's really good. Good stuff. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Maybe Mongolian beef, we'll see.